January 5th. Jordan, would you start us off with a roll call?
Please respond by stating present. Councilmember Ronayne.
Present.
Boberg.
Present.
Liebelt.
Present.
Ward.
Present.
Johnson.
Present.
Econger.
Present.
Nelson.
Present.
Norbstrup.
Present.
Mayor Schoeneman.
Present, please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance. First order of business here tonight will be to approve this meeting's agenda as it was printed. I'd take a motion.
So move.
Second.
Got a motion, Nilsson, second Ward. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Next, approval of the minutes of the meeting that took place 2 weeks ago on December 22nd. I would take a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion, Liebelt, second Econger. Does anyone have anything on any of these minutes? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We have a speaker here for our open forum segment of this meeting. We've got Ms. Patricia Kendall from the Dakota Prairie Museum. Those guys are kicking off some exciting stuff, and she would like to tell the council about it. Patricia, thank you and welcome to the meeting. The floor is yours.
Thank you. All right, can you hear me?
You bet.
Okay. So good evening, Mayor and members of the Aberdeen City Council. Thank you for the opportunity to be here tonight and for your continued service to our community. I'm here on behalf of the Dakota Prairie Museum to show how the museum serves as a year-round cultural anchor in downtown Aberdeen and to respectfully request your continued support. The Dakota Prairie Museum is a free, four-season amenity in the heart of downtown Aberdeen. Our purpose and mission is to preserve and share the stories of the Dakota Prairie and its inhabitants. Each year, we welcome more than 17,000 visitors, including residents of Aberdeen, the surrounding region, travelers from nearly all 50 states, and international visitors. These are people who are parking downtown, visiting restaurants, shopping, and spending time in Aberdeen. The museum is a public resource for sharing history as well as a well-attended tourist attraction. Actually, we just had our best attended December ever. According to my records, we had well over 2,100 visitors, and we closed out the year with over 18,000 visitors. The only year that we did better was when we had Thomas and Friends in 23, and we had 21,000 people. We are currently working with the city offices on resourcing the Placer AI data, which will better quantify the museum's economic impact and how our visitors contribute to downtown activity. Demographics that highlight the museum's position show that visitors are spending more of their valuable free time and recreational time than previously. Average visit duration this past summer was 50 minutes, and the median was 42 minutes at the Dakota Prairie Museum. We can also see that we have many loyal repeat visitors, but also an untapped, larger segment of casual visitors that we like to capture for future visits. We also see that we attracted the majority of visitors from South Dakota, North Dakota, Minnesota, Wyoming, and Iowa. And also, fun little fact, we see that after they see us, they go to the Twist Cone and McDonald's. I'd like to briefly clarify how the museum is funded, because it's important context for tonight's presentation. While the Dakota Prairie Museum is a department of Brown County government, the county funding covers employee salaries, benefits, and basic operating costs. So they keep the lights on, the heat on. If I need a repair, they take care of that. All other funding, including exhibits, exhibit upgrades, educational programming, outreach, collections care, and special events, come from gift shop sales, fundraising, grants, and the museum's endowments. Promotional funds from the city are a critical piece that help us leverage those private dollars and extend the museum's impact downtown and throughout the community. And I forgot to do all my slides. Look, happy children. Hold on. Here's our economic impact data from the Placer AI, how we're funded. And it doesn't want to go forward anymore. Okay, we'll roll with it. One of the most exciting developments at the museum this past year has been the opening of the Rosemarie and Dean L. Buntrock Gallery. This gallery represents a new chapter for the museum, one that shows what is possible when we invest in engaging, immersive experiences that appeal to all ages. It also shows the trust that the Buntrocks, as donors, have in our professionalism, our motivation, and the quality of our content that drew them to us in the first place. Just gonna take care of it. And I want to take a moment to sincerely thank the city council members who attended the Buntrock Gallery opening. Oh, look, people we know on there. On December 9th, and joined us in welcoming the Buntrocks. Your presence sent a strong message of support, not just to the Buntrocks, but to the museum, our community partners, and donors who believe in Aberdeen. Since that opening, over 2,000 people have visited the Buntrock Gallery alone, generating a significant excitement and repeat visitation downtown. The gallery has quickly become a jewel within the museum and a model for how we can continue to grow in the future. And I do want to point out, we had some people over the holidays who said they had heard about all the things that were happening, the new exhibit, and even though they were from out of town, they wanted to make sure they stopped by the museum. What's especially important to note is that only about 5% of the museum's collection is currently on display. That means there is tremendous opportunity ahead. We are actively planning for future renovations and possible expansion of the full facility so we can bring more of our local stories and more visitors to downtown Aberdeen. The council will hear more about those plans later this year. There we go. That's one of our events that we had that we just stack them, rack them, and pack them in our conference room there. But the museum's impact doesn't stop at our front door. While we want people to come downtown and experience the museum firsthand, we are also limited by physical space. That's why community outreach and collaboration are such an important part of our mission. We believe strongly that the museum should meet people where they are, especially students, families, and residents throughout Aberdeen and the surrounding area. As an example, I'd like to share how we are using the 2026 promotional funds that you granted to us, tied to the American 250 celebration. Thank you. Nice. The museum is purchasing 2 traveling panels, exhibits with secure cases that will first be on display at the museum in 2026, and then following can be displayed at libraries, schools, and community spaces at no cost to those partners and communities. They're 6-foot banners that use pop-up stands and can be configured to fit in any space, which you'll see on the next slide, right there. So the 2 exhibits are entitled, that we chose, Becoming the United States, Colonial America to Reconstruction, which is designed for elementary age learners. So that'd be perfect for a school library. Immigration, an American Story, which connects national history to local regional experiences. Another one that's a pertinent one and good for any community to have in their public space. These traveling panel exhibits allow us to extend the museum's reach well beyond our walls while still promoting the museum as a resource and destination. And you made that happen, so thank you. Continuing our educational outreach, our museum education curators initiated over 8,000 student interactions. Thank you. She'll get there. And throughout, so a year in Aberdeen and throughout the county, with about 400 classroom visits annually. In addition, during the school tour season, which is about 3 weeks in May, there you go, we host over 50 classes from approximately 20 regional schools, plus all the local schools, including homeschool families, for museum tours programming for well over 1,200 students. With this in mind, we respectfully ask that you continue to consider the Dakota Prairie Museum for fiscal year 2027 as the museum continues to grow, both as a historical and educational resource and as a premier tourist attraction. Our next major focus is thoughtful planning for a possible future expansion. To ensure responsible decision-making, we have been doing our due diligence to engage professionals, community partners who have been assisting us this past year in building awareness of our needs, doing feasibility studies, conducting interviews. Next, we'll be doing required studies to better understand construction, scope, feasibility, and cost. The results of these assessments will guide both the timing and scale of a future fundraising effort. When I return to you, I will be able to share more detailed information about these planning steps and what they indicate for the museum's long-term growth. I hope you will consider partnering with the museum to meet these challenges and ultimately create a world-class, must-see cultural, educational, and thriving museum in the heart of Aberdeen, downtown Aberdeen. These are some concept drawings that we got from Co-op Architecture, things that are possible. Thank you for your time and attention and your continued partnership. You are always welcome at the Dakota Prairie Museum, and I would gladly host you and show you around and anytime. So just give me a call. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Patricia. Does anyone from the council have any questions? I also want to chip in this little tidbit of information. If you're wondering about the Dean Buntrock exhibit, it's not about trash collection. It's large game animals, actually.
But thanks to Trash Collection.
Thanks to,
Yes.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a joke.
Yeah, I know.
It wasn't very good.
It was good. This is a tough group.
Can I have
No
a
kidding.
question?
Aaron,
Yes.
what have you got?
Can you tell us all about the bison video?
Yes, I would love to tell you about the bison video. I gave you a handout too, and it briefly mentions that we were in collaboration with Northern State University and McQuillan Creative. And Dean Buntrock wanted to commission a video about the American bison, and he wanted it specifically for the museum to use it as an asset in our educational programming, in our fundraising, and in our donor engagement. We have a whole media plan ready for this. It's 18 minutes long, and you can find it on our YouTube channel. It is extremely well done. It is Ken Burns level done. I just want to give props to Troy for doing that, and for the Northern instructors who were very thoughtfully and they presented well.
All right. Well, thanks. So if
Yeah.
any of you haven't been over there, maybe take a trip over to the museum. It's a couple of blocks from here, as you well know, and it's done a great job with the new exhibit. Look forward to seeing you in the near future, Patricia.
Yep. And thanks again for the support that you provided. We appreciate it, and I'm going to use every penny. So,
Glad to have helped.
yep, thank you.
Next, we've got a consent calendar here tonight, a series of bids, hearing dates, and so forth. I would take a motion to approve our consent calendar for the evening.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion Econger, second ward. Anyone have any questions on any of these? All right, all in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We cleared the deck last meeting with old business, so we'll move right along to our new business. Our first is a resolution which will establish a consolidated board of equalization pursuant to the South Dakota Law 10/1866 through 10/1177, and
So move to approve.
that sounds good. So we need a member and an alternate.
Yes.
So I've been the member. It doesn't bother me if someone take that off my plate. It's thrilling stuff, but if anyone
I'd be
else.
happy to be your alternate. I don't want to take your place.
Fair enough. So I will volunteer to serve on that board, and then Rob will be the alternate if no one else wants it. Seem good to everyone? I take a motion on that.
I think I moved it.
Okay.
Second.
Got a motion from Ronayne, a second from Nilsson, and this would be for myself to be a member of the Consolidated Board of Equalization for this upcoming year, and Rob to be the alternate. Do we need a voice vote on, or a roll call vote?
Yes, I'm sorry, there's a resolution, so yes, roll call.
Fair enough. Jordan, would you give us a roll call vote then on that?
Councilmember Ronayne,
Aye.
Foberg,
Aye.
Liebelt,
Aye.
Ward,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Econger,
Aye.
Nilsson,
Aye.
Norpstrup,
Aye.
Mayor Shoneman.
Aye, motion carries. Next, possible approval of a pay request. It's titled number 11. It's for $35,949.78. It is to Crown Construction for our 10th Avenue Southeast Bridge replacement.
Move to approve.
Second.
Got a motion, Liebelt, second. Ward, I know there's been quite a lot of discussion on this progress of this darn thing. Stu, you've been in contact with these gentlemen.
Yes. So we spoke earlier today with IMEG Construction, who is the project engineer for us and is doing the inspection. And The subcontractor is on site working on the pedestrian guardrails and
The sub being Prom themselves, or
no, the
Different
they have a
outfit.
subcontractor that they gave that work to, and it is our understanding that that should be completed by Wednesday of this week. Prom themselves were in late last week, Wednesday, I guess, and did their cleanup work that was required. So providing that we can get those pedestrian guardrails finished on time, like they have said that was gonna happen, we should be able to have the bridge open by the end of the week,
this week? This
this
Wednesday.
week, yes.
All right.
So
Mr. Mayor,
Go ahead. Talmadge?
when was this contract actually approved with Prom?
I believe, I might have the month wrong, but it would have been in March of 2024.
March of 2024? Okay.
Yeah, March or
Um,
April.
When did they actually start work on the project?
They started on it this last spring in 2025. I believe probably in April or May.
Okay, because I remember pretty early on in my tenure that I was hearing this, oh, it'll be done next month, next week,
Correct.
next week, and it's next year now.
It just seems to have drug out, and I don't think I have a good explanation for why that's happened. We're assessing liquidated damages, and with the 49,000 that we're assessing this pay period, that brings us up to, what is that?
What,
49 and-
67?
Yeah, 67,000. So that's not an insignificant amount. So
Right.
I'm frankly, I'm a little baffled by why this hasn't been a little bit more of a priority for them.
How long until the liquidated damages reach the remaining value of the contract?
Well, there's still a pretty big amount of work that needs to be done with all the asphalt that needs to be completed in the spring. So it would have to go quite a ways to get to that point.
Okay.
There's probably 800 and some odd $1,000 of work yet to do.
Right.
So
My understand, I'm sorry, do I have latitude? I suppose I'm supposed to be asking.
Please,
before my
Talmadge, I'm
questions,
interested to
but
hear your questions.
I'm a little tired of looking at, I came from the bridge right before, I have a picture of the bridge with the road closed sign still there, and I'm a little disturbed that we're still looking at this thing, particularly considering we're talking about cutting up another bridge, a more important one in the not too distant future, so.
correct.
We can't afford to have that happen there. I guess originally they were supposed to complete, am I right in stating that that there's kind of a sub-agreement that, yeah, you're now too late to pave this thing, so you can do it in the spring type thing because there's not really a choice.
Right.
So there's still that work out there to be paid for.
Yes,
I expect they want to be paid timely.
I would assume that they would be. Yes, that's correct.
I would love to have one of their contractors' members come and discuss with us what timely looks like, because it's concerning me a little bit, because I don't think we're seeing it. But that aside, I feel like we've got concession after concession after concession. What is liquidated damages our only step so far?
That's
to
really probably our only remedy, is to continue to charge that.
Do those get capped once the road is operable, or that those will continue until the paving is
So-
done and the project is actually complete?
My understanding of the way the contract is worded is once the bridge is open to traffic, then the liquidated damages would stop. Now, the question that I need to answer is in the spring, when they have to close it again, because it'll have to be closed to finish the concrete work and do the paving. will we be allowed to start assessing those liquidated damages again at that point? And I think that's a fair question to ask. So yeah, I you know, it's believe me, it's been very frustrating for us to continually get information that is incorrect or, you know, just simply false about when these completion dates or when they were going to be done. You know, I mean, we were assured that it was going to be done, there was going to be no problem getting it complete by the original completion date, which was the Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
Right.
And obviously here we are. I mean,
I feel like we keep hearing it's
Yeah.
weather, but I also feel like 2024 and 2025 both had summers full of good weather.
they did.
That
You know, the reason for giving the long completion date, in other words, you know, bidding it in 24 and putting a 25 completion date on it, the end of 25, so, you know, basically 2 construction seasons, was to try to get some more favorable pricing to, you know, let the contractor fit it into their schedule a little bit. But, I mean, the fact remains that work could have been being done on it in 2024. You know, that's a little bit of a double-edged sword, though, too, because if we allowed them to start on it in 24 and they didn't finish it, because the completion date isn't until 2025, it theoretically could have been closed, you know, for a longer period of time than what we're looking at right now. So,
Well, I feel like the big message at the end of the day is there's a lot of frustrated people that would prefer to use that
Absolutely.
route,
Right.
and they've been getting hold of all of us, and it's not unreasonable to say that, hey, you know, the expectations that have been presented to them have been failed time and time again. So hopefully this Wednesday I will be out there with my camera, and hopefully we can have some good news for once on that project, and then the paving will go nice and smooth in the spring. So got a motion, got a second on that. Is there anything else?
no. Thank you for the time.
All right, Jordan, would you give us a roll call?
Councilmember Norvstrup,
Aye.
Nilsson,
Aye.
Econger,
Nay.
Johnson,
Aye.
Ward,
Aye.
Liebelt,
Aye.
Foberg,
Aye.
Ronin,
Aye.
Mayor Shoneman.
Aye, motion carries. We have a possible approval next to authorize the purchase of a Caterpillar excavator 2026 from Butler Machinery using our Sourcewell contract. Stu, walk us through what we're intending to accomplish with an excavator. We currently have 0 of those in our
we
operation.
have, you are correct, we have 0 right now. So we started discussing the option of, we had about $210,000 budgeted to purchase a rubber-tired backhoe, you know, a tractor backhoe, basically. When Jeremy started looking into this, he realized that we could get a medium-sized excavator for about the same price. Considering the nature of the work that we use the backhoe for, which is primarily this larger backhoe is the one we were replacing, which is primarily to dig for water main installation. It started to look like maybe if we could get similar pricing on an excavator, that might be a better use of those funds, because we could be more productive with that. And then you throw into the mix the fact that this is a machine that we can use during the times that we're working on the Moxon Creek cleanup. Then I think it kind of became a no-brainer to us that this was probably the way to go. So I do want to point out, it says 2026 on here, but it is a 2024 holdover model. It's brand new, and it comes with a full factory warranty. I believe it's a 5-year warranty. So that is a little bit misleading, but it is in town. and we can take delivery of it as soon as we have approval, and then we can be using this thing when we start the excavation phase of the Moxon Creek project, which will save us the cost of renting.
Which about
an additional.
$7,500 a
So
month.
instead of renting two, we would only have to rent one. And then you consider the fact that we would use this over the next, 5 years for this project. I just really think it makes a lot of sense for us to make the switch.
Sounds good. Take a motion.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion Econger, second Johnson. And there's been a little bit of a holdup with that creek excavation project. We're looking in good shape to do our,
So we're working and moving forward. They're cleaning and getting rid of the cattails. We're gonna hopefully, this week is not great because if you look at the forecast, we're above freezing every day this week. But by getting rid of the cattails and getting some of that stuff cleared off, we should be able to make some better ice, some stronger ice to support equipment. And so we'll be hopefully out there soon.
Thank you, Stu. Appreciate that. We've got our motion, got our second. Jordan? Oh, go ahead.
Mr. Mayor, just purely because I'm curious. We're replacing a backhoe with an excavator, more or less. Do we have other backhoes?
So we have a mini excavator, a small tracked excavator. And I apologize, I don't know what the size of that is. And then we have one additional smaller rubber tired backhoe that we use for small repairs and
Okay.
valve replacements and that kind of stuff.
Okay, thanks. I was just curious.
Mr. Mayor,
Go ahead, Councilwoman.
can I ask questions about the creek excavation? Is that appropriate?
Might as well.
Okay. How are you deciding which parts of the creek to dig deeper than other parts of the creek? And then are you preserving as many trees as you can on the sides?
So we're working with forestry. They are identifying the trees that they want saved. And essentially what we're doing is removing the kind of small, the word escapes me of what I'm trying to say, but the smaller diameter trees that are kind of clustered together that aren't really viable. That's what we're concentrating on this time. If there's larger trees and they're in good shape, I mean, I think that's the other side of that coin is if you've got a tree that's sticking out at a 30-degree angle over the creek, that's probably not a very viable tree. And so that's the stuff that we're focusing on removing this time. And then, we're kind of trying to focus, at least initially, on those areas where we feel like we're going to make the biggest impact with appearance. And those areas are these areas that are close to the bridges, close to the aquatic center, and then we'll start moving into some of these other areas that. But we're trying to stay consistent as far as what the amount of sediment that we're removing. I mean, we're digging down to kind of the bedrock, or not bedrock, but the hard pan underneath the sediment. And so there are probably some variations in the bottom, but we're trying to stay as consistent with that as possible. So
Mr. Mayor, can I ask another question?
There are some storm drain inlets that have the most sediment accumulation that have kind of been the areas targeted. And when the application for the permit was submitted, it identified the areas.
Okay.
We'll be taking a look at. Go ahead with your next question.
Well, 5 feet's like the magic number, right? The cattails won't grow back.
that's correct.
But we don't want the whole creek bed to all be 5 feet deep because that's not necessarily how creeks like to live.
I think that the 5 foot might be a good rule of thumb, but some of those areas are not 5 feet and cattails haven't grown up
Okay.
through them.
That's
Robin told me
correct.
18 inches at one point, and that ecologist that came said 5 feet, so it appears to be somewhere between those numbers.
Okay.
I think it has also a lot to do with the makeup of the water too. Clearer water is going to support more vegetation growth.
Keep
and
the
to it-
vestibular muscles out then.
Yep.
But anyway, I think it's good that it'll be a variation and it won't all be
Yeah.
channelized to the same depth. It's
Just
better.
the nature of the construction
Yeah.
is going to kind of dictate that that's how it's going to work.
Jordan, would you give us a roll call vote on the purchase of the excavator?
Councilmember Ronayne,
Aye.
Foberg,
Aye.
Liebelt,
Aye.
Ward,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Econger,
Aye.
Nelson,
Aye.
Norvstrup,
Aye.
Mayor Shonneman.
Aye, motion carries. Thanks, Stu. Appreciate the information. Next, we've got review and approval of our claims and payroll. Pay period 28th of December through January 10th.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion Ward, second Econger. Jordan?
Councilmember Norvstrup,
Aye.
Nelson,
Aye.
Econger,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Ward,
Aye.
Liebelt,
Aye.
Foberg,
I accept the payment to Dakota Bank.
Councilmember Ronayne,
Aye.
Mayor Shonneman.
I believe there's a payment to climate control. I will abstain from that. Aye to the rest. Motion carries. Next is our city manager's report. Dave, what have you got?
Yeah, thank you. So this week, we have a meeting with our WINS partners, our web and BDM partners to kind of discuss last year's activities and where we ended on certain projects. We'll be talking about future funding opportunities as we move forward into the next year. I know there's some that are going to be recent, and we'll be talking about that and trying to work with them, again, moving forward on a written agreement with our group. So we'll report back to you when we have an update from our meeting. I thought it was important to have our fire department come tonight to talk a little bit about some of the activities. As you're aware, our first responders and fire department have been tasked heavily with several fires that have occurred in the community, some very tragic. We're very sad by that, and at the same time very appreciative of our first responders and our fire department on how they've handled those fires and managed those. They've done an outstanding job. Some of them are still under investigation. While we can't talk a lot about some details, I know that in the community maybe there was a concern that maybe there was some type of an arsonist or criminality or something that could be occurring, and I know that would have a fearful component in our community, wondering why we had these things occurring in such a short time frame. I think this weekend we had a vehicle fire on Melgard Road. Nobody was injured in that incident, but we're very fortunate to have a great working group on our fire department. They do an outstanding job. And with that, I'll turn it over to Joel to speak to some of this and maybe be able to answer some questions you may have.
Thank you, Dave. First of all, like Dave said, it's unfortunate that these fires have occurred, and I want to say that our thoughts and prayers go out to those families that lost their homes, their belongings, their pets, and especially those who lost their lost their loved ones on December 23rd. Like Dave said, these recent fires, they're not related. We don't have an arsonist in Aberdeen. It's just the timing of them. The December 23rd fire in the 1100 block of 8th Avenue Southeast, that one is still under investigation and probably will be for some time yet. We're still waiting on some evidence collection. The December 30th fire in the 900 block of South Klein Street, after extensive investigation into that one's going to be classified as undetermined, as an exact ignition for that one. The December 31st fire in the 500 block of 11th Avenue Southeast, we've determined that one to be an accidental fire. For a public safety reminder to everybody in the city of Aberdeen, don't place combustible materials on or within 3 feet of your stove. Don't leave cooking unattended. Test your smoke detectors regularly to ensure that they are working properly. Do not remove your smoke detectors. And if you don't have a smoke detector, please contact our Fire and Life Safety Division, and we can come and install one for you, free of charge. Questions?
So you mentioned 3. Was there a 4th fire as well? On maybe 8th Avenue?
No, I'm sorry. I was referring to the the vehicle fire on Melgar.
Oh, there was just 3 home fires. in
Correct.
that amount of time.
Yep.
Well, thanks. I really appreciate your diligent work on those. It's nice that they didn't spread to other homes and all those other disasters that could have went hand in hand with that. Rich, what have you got?
Just a quick, think I maybe was aware of that the offer that you guys do to install. What's the phone number if someone wants to take advantage
Sure.
of that program?
Yeah, our main phone number is 605-626-7048.
You said that's you could get a free, an apartment owner or a homeowner. They could call you guys and you can help get one safely
We
installed.
can
to
get
help.
one installed for you.
Awesome.
Yep.
Very good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, thanks again, once again, for the hard work to contain those things and to put them out and to keep people as safe as possible. Hopefully, that'll be the end of that streak of fires here in Aberdeen. Appreciate you joining us, gentlemen. Anyone else have anything before we move to adjourn the meeting? I'd take a motion.
Move to adjourn.
Motion Johnson, second Knopstrup. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We're adjourned. Thank you.